Right now, the nominee for U.S. Secretary of Health and Human Services, RFK Jr., is in his Senate confirmation hearing. But yesterday, someone who knows him rather well, his cousin Caroline Kennedy, sounded the alarm bells about the man who could make vital decisions about your health care. Take a look.
Your ass was fast.
I've known Bobby my whole life. We grew up together. It's no surprise that he keeps birds of prey as pets, because Bobby himself is a predator. Bobby is addicted to attention and power.
Lawsuit.
This is his own
Bobby
cousin.
preys on the desperation of parents of sick children,
Okay.
vaccinating his own kids, while building a following hypocritically discouraging other parents from vaccinating theirs. Bobby continues to grandstand off my father's assassination and that of his own father. It's incomprehensible to me that someone who is willing to exploit their own painful family tragedies for publicity would be put in charge of America's life and death situations. I urge the Senate to reject his nomination.
This is sad.
I don't take advice from old liberals. Y'all are the reason my country is fucked.
These glasses are insane.
I'm not listening to this old Harry Potter liberal. That's all I wanted to say.
To grandstand off my father's assassination and that of his own father. It's incomprehensible to me that someone who is willing to exploit their own painful family tragedies for publicity would be put in charge of America's life and death situations. I urge the Senate to reject his nomination.
Now, you know, this is what... She doesn't say much. You don't see her out and do anything.
No.
She does not say boo. So I feel like if she felt the need to come out of her shell and say, look, this is not good, I hope they're going to listen. But RFK, of course, hasn't responded to her letter and is insisted that he's not anti-vaccine. But will all those allegations make one damn bit of difference?
I don't think so.
Nope.
Well, I also think...
All right, next.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Because Hegseth, the guy, the last guy,
Bless you, yes.
was questioned by Senator Tom Tillis. He said that his sister-in-law was convinced, they told her to come forward and talk about the abuse that he created. You can back me up on this.
Yeah.
He really nailed Hegseth on the topic of abuse about women, and he still voted for him.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter. We're in a very bad situation in this country right now where there's nobody in Congress that I'm watching who has the, how shall I put this, the testicularity required of the job.
Yeah.
And I'm frightened by it, frankly. I mean, I see this every day, all of these people capitulating to Trump and his dictatorial needs. And it's just very, very bad. I think we're in a lot of trouble.
Maybe we should change the testicular fortitude to like a female alternative, because the two Republicans who have opposed Trump nominations so far have been Lisa Murkowski and Susan Collins. Here's what I'll say. I would not be surprised if RFK gets through, but I'm going to be watching those two women and Senator Bill Cassidy, who himself is a doctor, as well as Mitch McConnell, who survived polio. So he's somebody who feels strongly about vaccines and public health.
McConnell voted against
He voted against Hegseth. 4 is enough to sink him. J.D. Vance can't break the tie. But I also think Donald Trump was right about RFK when he called him a radical left-wing lunatic that no Republican should vote for. That was Donald Trump's take on him in the primary, listing off a number of conspiracy...
Don't put him on us.
It's when they say that.
Don't put him on us.
No,
he's just a radical...
We'll call him a radical lunatic. But I think it's the hypocrisy for me of spreading this misinformation and these wrong facts about vaccines while allegedly vaccinating, according to Caroline Kennedy, his own family. And I understand how hard it is to come out and publicly oppose somebody in your family. That took a lot from her, and she's somebody with credibility on the right and the left. I could see this resonating.
I don't know her.
And finally, I have been supportive of some of what RFK Jr. has said about what's in our foods and needing to address all these additives, all of these chemicals that you don't have in Europe. But I don't think he's the only person who can do that. Most Americans are coming around to that perspective. So why not put in somebody that doesn't have the baggage, that hasn't spread conspiracy theories, who wants to tackle those things, and happens to be credentialed to run Health and Human Services?
Well, you also have to, when you mentioned that she doesn't come out and speak a lot, Caroline Kennedy, you always have to gut check in this day and age when you're watching something, because there's always, you know, a different source that says this. I often say...
Oh, my God. God, Alyssa. I think RFK is the perfect person because he exposes the most. I haven't seen anybody like on the internet, period, that exposes as much as RFK does. He was talking about China basically having acres of land, growing food, and like that could be poisoned in our country. He already just exposed that we have more chemicals in our food than most countries. So I don't understand.
And how old are his kids? Like they're saying
They're not young.
That's what I'm saying. So you don't think over this amount of time that more research could have came out? Like we figured out, fluoride is bad.
He said, I'm pro-vaccine. I believe in vaccines. He said it multiple times. He said this vaccine could have been bad. The COVID vaccine.
What he said was, if you want to keep getting vaccines, go ahead and get vaccines. But my goal is to make sure that these vaccine companies are not putting profits and self-interest over the health of Americans.
Yeah.
Why is that a bad thing? We're supposed to listen to RFK Jr. cousin who tried to get him not elected as president, and now he finna get a seat in the administration. Now she also saying not do that. She hating on the motion, bruh. We don't listen to old liberals.
We see what Tim Walz's family did.
It's crazy that these women are on here saying this and they're taking Ozempic.
No, but it's so crazy that we have Ozempic and 70-something% of Americans are still obese.
Did y'all see Ozempic was actually supposed to be a diabetes medication, but I did see that chronic Ozempic use has been led to bone disease. A singer just came out yesterday and said her use of Ozempic has gave her brittle and weak bones. She has some sort, I forgot what it was called.
I bet.
But she came out yesterday, it's viral all over X, crying, please don't use Ozempic, I got bone disease. And they already said that Ozempic gives you diarrhea. Anything that's doing that to you, it cannot be good for you.
Family. Yeah. And I understand how hard it is to come out and publicly oppose somebody in your family. That took a lot from her, and she's somebody with credibility on the right and the left. Yeah. I could see this resonating. And finally, I have been supportive of some of what RFK Jr. has said about what's in our foods and needing to address all these additives, all of these chemicals that you don't have in Europe. But I don't think he's the only person who can do that. Yeah. Most Americans are coming around to that perspective.
Because
so why not put in somebody that doesn't have the baggage, that hasn't spread conspiracy theories, who wants to tackle those things, and happens to be credentialed to run Health and Human Services?
Well, you also have to, when you mentioned that she doesn't come out and speak a lot, Caroline Kennedy, you always have to gut check in this day and age when you're watching something, because there's always, a different source that says this. I often say, let me watch it myself and see what I think. It was so sincere, thoughtful, deliberate, and hard for her to do this. She goes on to talk about how he puts animals in blenders to feed his birds of prey. Now, I know that's disgusting on its face, but just pause for one moment. Yes, to feed his hawk.
Baby chicks and mice.
But the point here is, think about the mentality of what it takes to physically do what you're asking that person to do, and stop. There are stories about people that kill animals and what you need to lack to be able to do that. The hypocrisy of vaccinating his own kids and keeping that on the DL while he does this. And she also goes into saying his dorm room, his bedroom in the basement, everything has always been the party room, where although he was able to overcome addiction, he led many to addiction, and some have died.
In his family.
Yes, so you look at the whole picture, and then you ask yourself, because I too agree with going back on Big Pharma and also removing things from our food, but the cost is too great with him. And that's what I hope people pay attention to, and they don't fall in party lines, because this man seems dangerous.
They all do, though. They all seem dangerous to me.
That's sort of was my takeaway, because look at the people that...
RFK's daughter, Kathleen Alexandra Kennedy, born in 1988.
Wow.
Bobby Kennedy III, 1984.
40 years old.
Connor Kennedy, 30 years old, 1994. Hold on, he got more kids. He got a bunch of them.
Dang.
Aiden Coleman Kennedy. How old? What year was this mom boy? I can't. They don't even got it. Hold on.
Don't matter. You didn't
Hold on. Did she really bring up him?
William Finbar Kennedy.
When was he his born? Age either.
Yeah, it don't even say. 97, I think. Yeah, 97 was when he was born.
These are adults.
Kyra Kennedy, when was she born? She's 28.
These
1995.
All adults.
All his kids are grown and old.
Hold on, I'm just confused.
He said the vaccines got bad and confirmed by Congress in 2003.
No, I'm just messed up that she real life brought up him killing an animal to feed his other animal.
Bro.
Makes him more of a predator.
Bro, you can go. My friend had a snake in college. We used to go to the pet store and buy live mice to feed the snake.
That's the only way you could feed them.
They said if you feed ball pythons dead animals,
they won't eat it.
It's not as good as feeding them a live animal.
Y'all are the reason California is on fire.
Is it bad if I have a pet lizard, I feed him some chicken breasts Is it bad if I have a big dog if I feed him some steak? Oh my God!
Is it bad that I suck on a titty?
You know you can go buy a severed.
I'm just playing, bro.
You know you can go buy. No. Listen. Did you know for your dog's health, you can go buy a severed duck head and feed it to your dog, and it's supposed to be good for their health. It's supposed to be more healthier to feed
Haitian
it.
dog.
Oh my gosh!
They all do, though. They all seem crazy.
That sort of was my takeaway, because look at the people that Donald Trump is putting into his cabinet. You know, the Republican Party talks a lot about DEI and how people that are given opportunities lack the merit and lack the qualifications.
We're seeing it.
His cabinet is the least qualified cabinet that I've ever seen in my entire life. And so he has nominated someone to be in charge of medicine, basically, and health in this country. He doesn't hold a medical degree.
Did Michelle Obama did?
He went to Harvard like you.
Apart from the fact that he has these character flaws. I think what
about your husband?
that certainly struck me, but what also struck
his
me was
fraud?
sort of the personal things she talked about. It was a personal indictment for, she's known him for over, I don't know, her entire life. And what she says, to Sarah's point, is that he has these qualities personally that pose an even greater danger than his lack of qualifications. I mean,
Which says a lot.
That says so much. And then she goes on to call him, again, a predator. She says he's perverse for putting baby chicks and mice into a blender to feed his prey.
Yes.
And then finally,
Don't stop at Chick-fil-A.
she says that he has cheated his entire way through life.
But there has been some right of center pushback on this. The Wall Street Journal editorial board said why RFK Jr. is dangerous to public health, and the New York Post editorial board also said senators should vote no on RFK because he's hazardous to our health.
So they're credible.
There's been a lot of pushback on stuff just because of these kinds of things. But I'm going to take us to a different place because the new secretary.
Shut up.
Yeah, I've heard
these
enough.
are actually the dumbest bitches on television.
Hold on, so
Stop
if you
saying
kill,
it. Don't call
I don't care, bro.
So I got a
keep saying
question.
it, not for real, though.
So if you was a man and you hunt, so is that a problem in their eyes?
They all gonna eat
for sure.
Chick-fil-A. Are any of them vegetarians?
They save the fish.
Don't look like it.
Bro,
They save the
Like,
fish.
I just don't understand why if you have a
The
pet,
fish thing was crazy.
if you have a pet that eats meat, you're wrong for feeding it meat. Oh my gosh, he blends up meat to feed.
They're
to
making
his
it like
animal.
he got live, little baby chicks, and he puts them in a ninja.
Condemning your own cousin.
They're just making it seem like he's Jeffrey Dahmer. He cutting up animals on the side of the road. Like, listen, people feed their pets raw meat. People, have you ever seen those animal pages on TikTok? People feed their dog cow heart, pig heart, pig brain, duck heads.
We kill chicken to eat. Why is that an argument right now? We kill
Chick-fil-A
chicken.
kills so many.
We kill
McDonald's.
chicken. We kill all of these animals to eat. So what is the problem with a man killing something to feed another animal? If y'all have that
He's
logic,
gonna win. So
I don't know.
Yeah, man. All right, guys, let us know what y'all think. The View is absolutely dumb as rocks, like my boy Tom Homan said. All bad takes from everybody. We out of here.